What if I told you that some of reggae's most legendary voices have stepped away from the stage, not because the music stopped, but to follow a higher purpose? From Cowan's conversion from Rastafarian roots to embracing the gospel to Junior Tucker's spiritual awakening, these artists once ruled the airwaves with unforgettable secular hits. But now they've shifted their focus to faith and spiritual paths. Here are 12 reggae artists who left music behind to follow God, showing that their journey goes far beyond the music. Tommy Cowan. Cowan started his music career in the mid-1960s with a vocal group called the Miracles, which later became the Jamaicans. The group's big break came with the hit Baba Boom, produced by Duke Reid. The song topped the Jamaican charts and won the Jamaican Song Festival in 1967, marking Cowan's rise in reggae. After the group split, Cowan shifted to the business side of music, becoming the sales and marketing manager at Byron Lee's Dynamic Studios. This helped him become a successful record producer and artist manager, working with legendary reggae artists like Jacob Miller, Inner Circle, Earl Zero, Leroy Smart, Ras Michael, the Cimarrons, and Junior Tucker. He also managed Inner Circle and founded the top-ranking record label, helping to spread reggae music internationally. Cowan produced albums like The Same Song and Why Worry by Israel Vibration, with the dub version mixed by King Tubby, showing his impact on roots reggae and dub. Cowan's influence wasn't limited to the studio. He hosted major events like Reggae Sunsplash and Bob Marley's One Love Peace concert. He worked closely with Marley, helping to establish the Tuff Gong studio and joining him on European tours and the historic 1980 Zimbabwe Independence Day concert, where he was the MC. These moments placed him at the heart of reggae's global rise. In 1982, Cowan released The King's Music with his band Tommy Cowan and Thunder, featuring top Jamaican musicians and backing vocals from his wife Carlen Davis and Beres Hammond. The album highlighted his talents as both a performer and producer in reggae. In 1996, after years as a Rastafarian, Cowan had a spiritual conversion to Christianity. He left secular music and fully embraced the gospel. Along with his wife Carlen, he founded Vessel Ministries in 1998, and they created Judah Recording Studio and the Glory Music label to focus on gospel music. Cowan also helped produce Jamaica's biggest Christian music festival, Fun in the Sun, which won Gospel Event of the Year in 2014. Cowan's work in gospel and ministry earned him many awards, including the Rocksteady Union Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to Jamaican music. He was also named Gospel Promoter of the Year in 2007. In recognition of his ministry, Cowan received an honorary doctorate of divinity and was ordained as a gospel minister. In 2007, the Jamaican government awarded him the Order of Distinction for his service to music and ministry. Judy Moat. Moat's music career began in the late 1960s when she formed the vocal trio, the Gaylets. Their sound was inspired by American soul and R&B, particularly Motown and Aretha Franklin, who Moat has always admired. As reggae grew in popularity in Jamaica, Moat shifted from R&B to reggae. She recorded hits like her 1974 reggae cover of Miriam Makeba's I Shall Sing, and quickly became known for blending reggae's spiritual and social themes with her personal experiences and support for women's empowerment in a male-dominated industry. Moat's influence grew even more when she joined Marcia Griffiths and Rita Marley to form the I-Threes, the backing vocal trio for Bob Marley and the Wailers. Their harmonies were a key part of Marley's sound during his most successful years, and Moat played an essential role in the group's success. A milestone in Moat's solo career came with the release of Black Woman in 1979, the first reggae album produced by a woman for herself. The album, which focused on the struggles and strength of women, earned her critical praise and cemented her place as a pioneer in reggae and the music industry. She later received a Grammy nomination for her 1985 album, Working Wonders. Moat's spiritual journey is just as important as her music. After over 20 years in Rastafarianism, she felt a deep spiritual longing that Rastafarianism couldn't fulfill. She described the dissatisfaction she felt and how it led her to Christianity, despite her initial concerns about how others would react. She views her transition to gospel music as a continuation of her mission to inspire and uplift through music. Carlen Davis. Born in Colonel's Ridge, Clarendon Parish, Jamaica in 1953, Carlen Davis moved to England at age 14, where she began performing professionally just a year later. She started out as a guitarist in an all-female band, later joining the pop trio Toreadors before moving to Toronto, Canada. There, she recorded her debut single, a reggae-infused cover of Leaving on a Jet Plane, and her version of Jimmy Cliff's The Harder They Come became a local hit, marking her growing influence in reggae. In 1980, Davis returned to Jamaica, where she quickly became one of the leading female reggae artists. She performed at the Reggae Sunsplash Festival in 1981 and placed runner-up in the festival song contest with Peace and Love. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, she released several successful albums and singles, including Like Old Friends Do, It Must Be Love, Winnie Mandela, and Going Down to Paradise. Her collaborations, such as the duet Feeling Irie with Gregory Isaacs and her recognition as Best Female Vocalist at the 1990 Caribbean Music Awards, solidified her as a trailblazer in reggae. Davis's reggae style is deeply influenced by her Jamaican roots and international experiences. Her music blends soulful vocals with storytelling, addressing social issues, and connecting with audiences around the world. A major turning point in her life came in 1996 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. This experience led her to rededicate her life to Christ and shift her focus from secular reggae to gospel. Her 1998 album Vessel marked her full transition to gospel reggae, and her 2000 hit single This Island Needs Jesus became popular across the Caribbean, offering hope and inspiration. Davis has released over 10 albums, many of which were critically acclaimed and commercially successful. Her 2014 album Dripping Blood reached number 3 on the Billboard Reggae Albums chart. She has also used her platform for philanthropy, donating album royalties to cancer support and Ebola relief efforts. Beyond music, Davis became an ordained minister, earned a doctorate in pastoral counseling, and served as the minister of music at the Family Church on the Rock in Kingston. Along with her husband, Tommy Cowan, she established their own recording studio and the Glory Music label, strengthening her legacy in both music and ministry. Chevelle Franklin. Franklin faced a tough start, leaving school at 14 to support her large family. She began her music career singing at hotels and resorts, later working with producers like Rohan Harrison, Steely and Clevie, and Winston Riley in Kingston. At 14, she released her first single, Here I Am, showcasing her powerful voice and stage presence. Her music, shaped by Jamaica's dancehall and reggae scenes, gained attention with the 1992 hit Nice and Naughty, produced by Harrison and Mikey Bennett. This success led to collaborations with stars like Spragga Benz, Shabba Ranks, Lady G, and Beanie Man. Her vocals on Mr. Loverman and her appearance in the 1997 film Dancehall Queen boosted her fame in Jamaica, the UK, the Caribbean, and the US. She also contributed to Shabba Ranks' Grammy-winning album Extra Naked in 1992, earning a Grammy certificate. Despite her commercial success, including touring big venues like New York's Apollo and performing at Reggae Sumfest, Franklin felt a sense of emptiness. In 1998, during a live concert, she had a spiritual awakening and, overwhelmed on stage, publicly announced that she would leave secular music to dedicate her life to God. This marked the start of her shift to gospel music, and she ended her secular contracts, including stepping away from the international hit Dancehall Queen. Franklin's gospel music career began with the release of Joy, 2001, which she co-produced with Danny Brownie. The album's success led to extensive tours across the UK, Caribbean, and US. She continued to build her gospel repertoire with albums like His Way, 2005, Set Time, 2017, and South Wind Volume 1, 2024, which was recorded in South Africa and featured collaborations with African gospel artists. Franklin's achievements in gospel music are notable. She has earned multiple Caribbean Gospel Music Marlin Awards, International Reggae and World Music Awards, a Reggae Academy Award, and recognition at the Grammy Awards and the African Gospel Music and Media Awards. Her album Set Time won Album of the Year at the Sterling Gospel Music Awards in 2018. Tony Rich, raised in a musical family with parents Bishop William Richards and evangelist Rose Burrell, founders of Mount Carmel Baptist Church, Rich grew up surrounded by church music. However, as a teenager, he became drawn to the reggae scene in Kingston. In the early 1980s, he worked as a studio engineer and entertainment manager for Zap Pow and did live sound for reggae stars like Ken Booth and John Holt. He also joined the famous rocksteady group The Jamaicans, and later became the lead singer for band Cayman. Though his reggae roots were grounded in classic Jamaican music, Rich's career took him beyond the island. In 1984, he traveled to Britain as the road manager for Gregory Isaacs and the Roots Radix Band, eventually moving to London. There, he became the lead singer for the Cimarrons, one of the UK's first reggae bands, earning a name as a skilled and versatile vocalist. In 1990, during a tough time in his life, a meeting with a Christian friend in a recording studio led him to rededicate his life to God. This spiritual change shifted Rich's musical direction. In 1991, he released Man of Cyrene, an album blending smooth reggae vocals with rhythms, which became a success. He deepened his commitment to gospel reggae, joining Jetstar, a key reggae distributor where he helped grow the gospel reggae scene. He oversaw the reissue of Man of Cyrene and produced important gospel reggae albums, including his own and collaborations with artists like Denzel Dennis and Osmond Collins. Rich also contributed to gospel reggae compilations, such as the Sunday Service series, which introduced the genre to a wider Christian audience. His 2006 album, I Saw the Light, featured collaborations with the Sharon White Gospel Singers and Osmond Collins, mixing traditional reggae with contemporary gospel themes. Despite facing serious health struggles, including 32 surgeries and a near-death experience, Rich continued to inspire and create music. During his recovery, he recorded the emotional song Solid Rock, which reflected on his experiences and faith, and was featured on the Firm Foundation project in 2008. His resilience and dedication to both his faith and music had a lasting influence on the gospel reggae community. Claudell Clark. Claudell Clark started her music career as a child prodigy. At just 10 years old, she recorded her first hit, 7 Days Make 1 Week, a ska duet with Stranger Cole. This success made her a key figure in Jamaica's ska and reggae scene. In the 1960s, she worked with reggae legends like Bob and Rita Marley, Peter Tosh and Alton Ellis, and sang backing vocals on songs like Prince Busta's Sweet Beat Rocking Down Orange Street. These collaborations helped shape her versatile vocal style. Even though Claudell found success in secular music, her spiritual calling was always there. In 1968, she transitioned to gospel music after a deep spiritual experience. This change wasn't easy. She faced criticism from some religious groups and was even turned down for performances because of her Afro hairstyle. But this only made her more determined and strengthened her character as an artist and minister. Claudell went on to produce many gospel songs that became popular in the reggae gospel genre. Songs like Just As I Am, He Touched Me, and I Saw the Light became favorites and earned her awards, including a Lifetime International Award and a spot in the International Reggae and World Music Awards Hall of Fame. Her music is known for inspiring and uplifting listeners, often encouraging collective worship. After moving to Canada in 1983, Claudell spent years performing and spreading her gospel message. In 1997, she returned to the studio and worked with Derek Morgan and Lloyd Campbell on the album Reggae Songs of Praise. Later albums like Prayer, Reggae Songs of Praise Volume 2, and The Best of Claudell Clark further established her as a leader in reggae gospel music. Her latest album, The Journey, shows her continued growth in the genre. It features collaborations with musicians like Leroy Smith of the Grace Thrillers and William Stewart of Third World. These partnerships keep her music fresh while staying true to her reggae roots. Claudell Clark is known as the Queen of Reggae Gospel for her ability to overcome challenges in both secular and religious music. After more than 40 years of ministry, She continues to inspire audiences worldwide with her powerful voice and message. If you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Hopton Lewis. Born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1947, Hopton Lewis began his musical journey in church where he started singing at a young age. This early spiritual influence shaped his future career. As a teenager, he formed a singing group called the Regals, and in the mid-1960s, he made a major impact on Jamaican music with the release of Take It Easy in 1966. This song, recorded with Lynn Tate and the Jets, is considered one of the first rocksteady songs, helping to create a new genre that bridged the gap between ska and reggae, setting the stage for future Jamaican music. Lewis's influence grew throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s with hits like Cool Collie, which was the first Jamaican song to mention substance. His role as an arranger and backing vocalist for Duke Reid at Treasure Isle made him a key figure in Jamaica's most innovative studios. In 1970, he won the prestigious festival song contest with Boom Shaka Laka, a song so iconic that it inspired a roots reggae label and fanzine many years later. His collaborations with U-Roy on Tom Drunk and his 1971 cover of Grooving Out on Life further solidified his reputation as one of reggae's most versatile and soulful vocalists. Though his commercial success declined in the 1970s, Lewis didn't disappear from the music scene. In the late 1980s, he started his own label, Bay City Music, and began focusing more on gospel music, a genre that reflected his church upbringing and spiritual beliefs. This shift was more than just a change in style. It marked a personal transformation. Lewis's return to gospel music allowed him to use his talents to inspire and share his faith, a trend seen in many Jamaican artists who sought deeper meaning beyond secular music. By the mid-1990s, Lewis became a prominent gospel artist with albums like This Is Gospel, 1996, Reaching Out to Jesus, 2000, and Inner Peace, 2001. His gospel songs, such as Lay Your Hands on Me, Jesus, and Caribbean Gospel Jubilee, blended reggae with messages of hope and spiritual growth. He later moved to Brooklyn, continuing his music career and hosting a gospel radio show. Lewis's impact on gospel music was significant, bridging Jamaica's secular and sacred traditions. His soulful voice resonated in both secular and spiritual songs. Even after his death in 2014, his legacy endures through the artists and fans he inspired and the lasting popularity of songs like Boom Shaka Laka and Take It Easy. Owen Gray. Gray's early music made him Jamaica's first homegrown singing star, and he played a key role in the shift from rhythm and blues to ska and rocksteady. He worked with legendary producers like Coxsone Dodd, Duke Reid, Prince Buster, and Leslie Kong. His talent for blending different genres, smoothly transitioning from R&B to ska, rocksteady, and reggae, made him a musical pioneer. Hits like My Heart Is Gone, 1961, and Cupid, 1968, helped establish his reputation in Jamaica and the UK. After moving to the UK in 1962, he became a well-known recording artist, working with top British musicians and bands. His soulful voice and emotional lyrics helped shape the rocksteady sound, and his collaborations with artists like Millie Small and tracks like Girl I've Got a Date and On the Beach became timeless classics. In the 1960s and 1970s, Gray's career continued to evolve. He recorded for influential labels like Studio One, Island, Trojan, and Palma, and put out reggae versions of popular international songs like the Rolling Stones' Tumblin' Dice and John Lennon's Jealous Guy. His 1970 track Apollo 12 became popular with the early skinhead movement in the UK, while his tribute to Emperor Haile Selassie, Hail the Man, resonated with the growing Rastafarian community. Gray's ability to experiment with different sounds kept him relevant as music trends changed, and his performances on global stages helped spread Jamaican music worldwide. As reggae grew, Gray's personal and artistic journey led him to explore spirituality more deeply. After spending time in New Orleans and returning to Jamaica to work with roots reggae producer Bunny Lee, he moved to Miami in the 1980s. In this later stage of his career, Gray began to focus more on gospel music, drawing from the spiritual roots of his youth. This shift was both a return to his beginnings and a response to a personal calling, as he sought to use his music to inspire and uplift through messages of faith and hope. Junior Tucker. Junior Tucker, once known as the Jamaican Michael Jackson, started his musical career at a very young age. His first hit single, Happy, was released when he was just 7 years old, becoming a #1 hit in Jamaica. This success made him a household name and led to his performance at the famous One Love Peace concert in 1978, a moment that showcased reggae's ability to unite people. During the 1980s, Junior Tucker's career took off internationally. He recorded a reggae version of Some Guys Have All the Luck, and in 1983 produced the first version of Mr. Telephone Man, which later became a top 20 Billboard hit for New Edition in 1984. His early involvement in the global music scene included signing with Island Records at just 12 and Geffen Records at 18-14. After studying audio engineering in New York City, he began writing his own songs, with Don't Test becoming a hit and earning him a record deal with Virgin Records in 1989. The song reached number 54 on the UK singles chart in 1990, marking his growing influence beyond Jamaica. Despite his success, Junior Tucker faced personal struggles. The death of his father and the birth of his daughter led him to search for meaning beyond fame. After exploring various religions, he experienced a profound spiritual awakening after praying for relief, which led to his decision to become a born-again Christian. He publicly declared his faith at a gospel concert in Kingston and was baptized soon after, marking a clear departure from his secular music career. After his conversion, Junior Tucker dedicated his talents to gospel music. He moved to Florida, where he sang at a West Indian church in Broward County before relocating to New Harvest Church in Clewiston. There, he pursued a formal education in ministry through a correspondence degree. His gospel music career includes several albums such as Brand New, Ready for the Rapture, Sold Out, Worship from the Islands, and Victory, Worship from the Islands 2, all of which mix reggae rhythms with themes of faith and worship, reflecting his growth in his spiritual journey. Beyond recording, Junior Tucker's ministry work includes preaching the gospel and leading praise and worship workshops through Junior Tucker Ministries. His ministry has taken him to countries where he once performed as a secular artist, now using his platform to spread faith and hope. His gospel albums have been well received, with Victory, Worship from the Islands 2 featuring energetic beats, and heartfelt worship that invite listeners into God's presence. Papa San was raised by his Rastafarian grandmother in Spanish Town, where he was surrounded by the music of legendary reggae artists like Bob Marley and Dennis Brown, as well as American pop and soul icons such as Donna Summer and Nat King Cole. He rose to fame in the late 1970s and early 1980s, quickly making a name for himself in Jamaica's sound system culture, performing with groups like Stereophonic the Bionic and Black Scorpio. Winning the Tasty Talent Contest in 1981 marked the start of a successful career. By the late 1980s and 1990s, he had become one of the top DJs with hits like Animal Party, Style and Fashion, Legal Rights, and Matty Matty Cry topping charts worldwide. His nickname, Marathon Man, came from his ability to hold multiple top 10 positions at once, a rare feat that set him apart from his peers. His lively performances and sharp lyrics made him popular not only in the Caribbean, but also in places like Japan, Europe, Africa, and the United States. Despite his success, Papa San faced personal tragedy in the early 1990s. His brother, fellow DJ Dirtsman, was murdered, his sister died in a motorcycle accident, and his cousin was killed by the police. These losses, along with his own legal issues, led him to a period of deep reflection and spiritual searching. In 1997, he converted to Christianity, which had a profound impact on his life and career. He shifted his focus to gospel reggae, using his music to share messages of faith, hope, and redemption, while still keeping the energetic style and clever lyrics that made him famous. Since his conversion, Papa San has continued to evolve musically, blending reggae with gospel in a way that resonates with both young and older audiences. His albums, such as One Blood, which topped the Billboard Reggae Albums chart in 2014, and Life Lessons show his ability to push musical boundaries while staying true to his faith. His collaborations with gospel artists like Kirk Franklin and Mary Mary, as well as his feature on Lecrae's Church Clothes Volume 2, have helped cement his place as a bridge between different genres and generations. Outside of music, Papa San has dedicated himself to ministry and philanthropy. Together with his wife Debbie, he was ordained as a minister and founded Our Father's Kingdom International Ministries in Florida, where they serve their community and beyond. He also hosts the annual Papa San and Friends concert to raise funds for orphanages in rural Jamaica, reflecting his commitment to giving back. His influence continues in both the reggae and gospel music scenes, and he was honored with the Soca and Urban R&B Pop Award from ABGMA in 2021. Lieutenant Stitchy. Stitchy made a big breakthrough in 1986 when he worked with Prince Jammy on the song Wear Ya Size. In 1987, he released his first album, Great Ambition, which featured the hit song Natty Dread. This song topped the Jamaican charts for 14 weeks. By 1988, Stitchy's success grew, and he signed a major record deal with Atlantic Records, becoming one of the first artists to join a major label after Yellowman. His albums The Governor, Wild Jamaican Romances, and Rude Boy helped build his international reputation. He also had an incredible streak of 14 #1 hits in just 1 year, solidifying his place as a legend in the music world. His lively performances and storytelling skills earned him worldwide recognition, including awards from the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association and the International Reggae and World Music Awards. However, in August 1997, Stitchy's life took a dramatic turn when he survived a serious car accident on his way to perform at Reggae Sumfest. Despite medical advice, he went on to perform as planned, but the experience changed him deeply. After the show, a Canadian boy gave him a Bible, and reading it sparked a spiritual awakening. This led him to become a Christian, which changed the course of his life. He decided to stop making secular music and instead focus on studying the Bible. His transformation wasn't just about changing his lyrics, it was about finding a new purpose in life to share messages of faith, hope, and redemption. Stitchy's success in gospel reggae has been just as impressive. His first gospel album, To God Be the Glory, 1999, launched a new chapter in his career. He went on to release more albums that mixed dancehall rhythms with positive spiritual messages. Over the years, he has won several awards, including the Outstanding Male Reggae Vocal Performance at the Caribbean Gospel Music Marlin Awards in 2002. In 2012, he was honored with an honorary doctorate from Cornerstone Christian University for his contributions to gospel reggae. He was inducted into the Gospel Hall of Fame in 2016 and recognized in Jamaica's National Honors and Awards in 2021, highlighting his significant cultural and musical impact. St. Matthew. Matthew's interest in music started with his older brother Mark, known as Ramrod, who was into DJing and rapping. Inspired by his brother, Matthew began writing rap lyrics in 8th grade and chose a wild stage name that matched his unpredictable style. From 1996 to 2001, he was part of the secular group Maraudas, living a fast-paced lifestyle full of parties and women. Despite his success, he felt an emptiness inside that no amount of excitement could fill. Everything changed on September 11, 2001, a day that shocked the world with the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers. For Matthew, it was also a turning point. Watching the grief and chaos around him, he realized he was spiritually empty and decided to give his life to Jesus Christ. This decision led him to leave Maraudas and his old persona behind. After embracing his new faith, Matthew became known as Saint Matthew, or the Gospel Defender, dedicating himself to spiritual warfare through music. His catchphrase, "Ready Back," meaning to be ready and equipped, reflects his upbringing and his commitment to gospel ministry. Switching from secular to gospel music was a challenge. He had to rebuild his identity and career, leaving behind the materialism of his past. But St. Matthew went on to become known as one of the most engaging voices in gospel music, with a busy writing and recording schedule that resulted in multiple mixtapes and collaborations, including Kingdom Vibrations with DJ Counselor and Mr. Lynx. St. Matthew's performances have reached various audiences while staying true to his Christian message. In 2006, he faced personal tragedy when his father died in a car accident. However, this loss only made him more determined to follow his calling as a Christian soldier and gospel defender. He has since been featured on several top-selling gospel reggae albums and compilations, gaining recognition for his unique style in the Christian music community. Which of these artists inspired you with their music? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.